And welcome back to the beautiful Dorman Arena as we get ready to bring you live action from the 2015 Farm Bureau Insurance Classic. Marcus Burnett joined by Anton Bennon as we are moments away from tipping off. Greenforest Christian out of Georgia, another Peach State representative here on site versus Phillip O'Berry, the second North Carolina team that we've had here playing today. The other one being Rocky River that will play later today. So here in South Carolina, two teams from outside of the state, but should provide a very good spectacle for the fans that have come here on site. Phillip O'Berry will have the first possession.
This Greenforest team, man, they're just a long team, man.
Very impressive squad. You talk about the airport test that everybody likes to mention. And they passed theirs with flying colors. And the good thing about Coach Thompson's squad is that aside from that visual test, they're a very good team, tried and true when you look at the body of work itself during the game as well. A Phillip O'Berry three-pointer, that one's in and out. Looked good, but wouldn't stay down there for number 10, Chandler Murray. Here's Justin Forrest. Forrest misses the first shot, strong on the second attempt, has it knocked away before he can get a third. Precious Aya has that shot change. Here's Victorino, and he's fouled after that power dribble. Eno, a guy that eats glass. That's his first rebound, will definitely not be his last. 23 rebounds there in that Chick-fil-A Classic game we had last week.
Set a record. The most rebounds ever in the Chick-fil-A Classic.
Out-rebounded the 7-footer Thon Maker, who had the previously high score of 20, or high rebound total of 20 prior to Victor Eno breaking that record.
The funny thing about that, the year before, he almost broke the record also.
Had 19 in the game.
Yes, sir. So now the point guard here, Oguchi.
And that's what John Oguchi does right there. You know, you talk about all of the size that Greenforest has, and it's a big part. It's a big calling card for them. But they've got good guard play in Forrest and Oguchi as well. But answering right back with a triple is Phillip O'Berry. Oguchi gonna try a triple now. That one's short. Eno tips that one out to Justin Forrest. Forrest misses. Iola and Eno converge on the boards. Iola's follow won't fall.
Berry pushes the tempo, gets the ball up the court.
Ball poked around. Nice job of going to the deck to get it. And good job by the officials of letting them decide that before calling a jump ball prematurely.
Exactly right.
That was Will Miller going to the deck hard to get that for Phillip O'Berry. Jump ball. It's going to send it over to Greenforest, 3-2. Here with plenty of time left to play in the first quarter. John Oguchi with it, guarded by Murray. He'll get it inside to Iola.
He's short on the jump ball.
And everything. Credit that Greenforest staff with that. Forrest is fouled and is going to go to the line. It's going to go against Chandler Murray. So Justin Forrest will head to the free throw line. Forrest, a player to keep an eye on, not only at this event, but throughout the season. Player that can knock it down from outside, a guard that's much stronger than what his height is listed in the roster book in terms of how big he plays. Does a great job of using that frame well to be able to initiate contact going to the rack and finish through it. Responsible for setting the table for all of these Greenforest weapon pieces.
Miscommunication there by O'Berry. Chandler Murray passed it to the wrong guy. Or nobody.
That's one thing Greenforest, capitalizing off of that and seeing Hammond School defeat them in that Chick-fil-A Classic Championship. They did a great job of minimizing their mistakes. Also, you know, knocking down the shots from the outside like they were helped the cause.
That's 2 here by Chandler Murray. Second 3 for Chandler Murray here.
Murray says, man, I'm not worried about that last turnover. That is what it is. I can't get it back, but I can knock down this triple, though. Second one of the game.
Deep three-pointer here.
One of the things you got to do against Greenforest is knock down the shot from outside. You don't have to rely solely on that. With for Chandler Murray, string music from the outside there on that one. So 6-2. Phillip O'Berry with the lead as we approach the 4-minute mark. That's going to be an offensive foul. Stepping in and taking the charge there is number 23, Michael Roberts.
Now Precious Aya, he needs to go ahead and pull up, do a jump stop, do a good pull up on that one. Out of force.
Greenforest trailing by 4. Blocking foul going to go against Precious Aya. The officials say he was not there in time. Looked like he got over there. Bang, bang play. The referee was right on top of it. Let's see if he got his feet set in time. Looked like he might have gotten it in there.
Hey, who am I to judge?
Yeah, I was just looking, you know, I was ready to say that, you know, Precious Aya comes back and takes a charge on their end. You know, I think if that one's a charge on the other end, looks like Precious Aya should have been called one as well. But we have the privilege of slowing that down and giving our 2 cents. Officials have to make that call with things happening at full game speed. So Aguche cranks the 3 up, can't get the shot to go. Aya battling for the rebound. Nice job of wanting it more and taking it by number 2, Jamarius Burton. Burton has interest from mid-majors as well as a few high-major colleges.
Greenforest takes a timeout here, 4 timeout.
They take a timeout and we'll take one with them. Greenforest currently trailing 8-2 here at the FBI Classic. Back from the Greenforest timeout. They currently trail by 6. Subbing into the game for Greenforest now is number 24, Muhammad.
Turnover. Frost.
Abdul Salam. And it's Forrest on the other end knocking it down. Or taking it right to the cup, I should say. He can knock down the jump shot this time. High percentage lay-in makes it 4-8. Can't leave Murray open. He's already got 2 3-pointers. He misses that one.
Forrest pushes the tempo. Kind of out of control there. Victor Inu.
I didn't see what the call was there. I thought it was a jump ball called there. I thought Eno had possibly gotten fouled, but it goes the other way. So 8-4. Called for the foul. Think he got him with the body.
Michael Roberts for Phillip O'Berry, 6'4". He said, I don't care about the trees.
I'm going right in there.
I'm going in there. And he went up there strong also. That's why he got the foul call. If he would have pump faked or did anything else, the referee's not going to bail you out.
If you go in shook,
come out shook.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 3 minutes, 5 seconds. Remaining here in the first quarter. That free throw's good. Oguche will bring it across. Oguche and Chandler Murray both wearing the number 10. Both with a good stroke from outside. Murray's got a couple three-pointers. Oguche can't get his first one to go. There you see Victorino. Greenforest, one of those teams that rebounds well, plays intense defense. And it's tough to find teams that can not only start off well against them, but can be able to hold that productivity over the course of the 4 quarters.
Yeah.
They stay consistent in terms of their ability to defend and rebound the ball. So it's a matter of them, trying to impose their will. And a lot of teams succumb to that sort of pressure and consistency throughout the course of a game. Phillip O'Berry appears more than up for the challenge. Being able to mitigate some of that size inside with their ability to hustle, position themselves well, and just play good basketball here early on. A 2-point advantage. If you're Greenforest, you've stumbled out of the gate a little bit in terms of getting loose, but you're still only down 2 points.
Exactly. That's the good thing about it.
Yep.
You haven't played your best. You're only down 2.
Be a foul called. They're off of the ball, and that's going to be another thing to monitor. You don't want to get into foul trouble if you're Greenforest or Phillip O'Berry, but I think it's even more implications for Greenforest. You're already down Ike Obiagu, one of the best big men in the country. So you don't want to lose the talents of any of your other roster members due to foul trouble early on.
You're right about that. Victor Inu. He's one of those guys you don't run a set play for.
No.
You don't run a set play for him. You're not going to isolate him on the block. You're going to shoot the ball and say, go get it, big boy.
Go get it.
If I don't make it, you go get it.
And he does just that. He's going to get a breather. He'll sit. Bebe Ayola checks back into the game. 9 apiece. Advantage for Phillip O'Berry there in that matchup in terms of having Muhammad Abdul Salam and trying to stick with Jamarius Burton. Not an easy matchup there for the big fella with Burton having that advantage. He'll get a trip to the line. Good on the first free throw.
On both.
So a 2-point advantage now for Phillip O'Berry. Here's Forrest. Leaves that one short. Follow up there by Forrest after Abdul Salam couldn't tip it in. At one, blocked by Ayola. Now here's Forrest. Skip pass over to Oguchi. Oguchi goes behind the back, loses the handle temporarily. Ball still loose. And Ayola going to be called for the foul. He's not happy with the call.
That all started with Oguchi when he went in, a little out of control, lost the handle, and it was all downhill from there. Now they're in the bonus here in the first quarter.
So you see a couple boxes that you can check if you're head coach Maurice Jones here at Phillip O'Berry. I think when it comes to the rebounding battle, they've done a good job of really scrapping inside with Greenforest. But then also with Greenforest, you got to be able to try to minimize what Forrest and Iguchi do against you with their ability to score the ball, get others involved. You've also got to try to pressure them into as many mistakes as you can to try to negate some of that length and size inside for Greenforest.
You're absolutely right. You know, if you're a Phillip O'Berry, you're glad you're in the spot you're in now. Forcing turnovers like you just happened.
So you had Iguchi go behind the back, and they quickly stole that one. There they applied the pressure and forced a turnover. It's a one-point game, Phillip O'Berry. You see Forrest trying to turn things up. Mario Burton answering right back. Watched a lot of Greenforest ball over the past few years. With a lot of teams, they can simply out-muscle you and sort of take your heart early on if you come out scary. This Phillip O'Berry team, I think anybody watching this webcast knows they're not coming down with any sort of back down, any sort of buzz or fear factor when it comes to this Greenforest squad. They're manning up and having a good start so far, and I don't think Greenforest would have it any other way. If they can intimidate you, run you out of the gym, they'll take that. But they don't mind going chest to chest and just slugging this one out, and I think that's what we're going to have here in this game.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have a slugfest here. I don't see Phillip O'Berry backing down at all.
None.
Both coaches have been up the whole entire game, this whole first quarter.
Precious Aya with the rebound.
Too hard on the hook.
Burton passes on the three, going to take it right in. Aya got a couple fingertips on it, not enough to grab it. Three-pointer no good. Muhammad Abdul Salam with the rebound. And that is going to do it for the first quarter. Appreciate you joining us here on SUVtv. We'll be back with the second quarter shortly.
Seconds inbound pass to Marbury as he works on the defense of Johnson, dribbles by Robinson, takes it to the baseline, running jump shot, good! 2 seconds left.
Ready to get the second quarter started. Marcus Burnett joined by Anton Bennon as Phillip O'Berry has a 4-point advantage as we get ready to start the second quarter. Precious Aya has that shot changed. Nice defense by the Cardinals. Burton will get it ahead.
Yeah, this O'Berry team, man, they're just been out hustling Greenforest so far. You know, just getting to a lot of 50-50 balls, making their layups count when they are open.
Yep, credit to them. Like you mentioned, they've done a good job of helping Greenforest, you know, make a few mistakes. But then in terms of their checklist, you know, some of these things you're going to do going into each and every game, regardless of who you're playing. Then there are some Greenforest specific elements that they have in their scouting report / game plan. And so far, the progress report for Phillip O'Berry is a good one in terms of how they defended Greenforest, how they've matched the physicality and intensity so far. And what makes it such a good game is that despite the fact that they've done that and Greenforest has struggled relatively speaking, it's just still a 4-point game.
Yeah, still a 4-point game here. You know, Greenforest has not played up to their capability at all. I just looked at a forced three-pointer by Forrest just now. Deep three-pointer, not in rhythm. One pass away. You know, these are shots that can come at any time in the game.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to think about getting that ball moving around.
They try to get that one into Muhammad. Abdul Salem. Forrest knocks that one away. He's trying to get himself going offensively by cranking things up on the defensive end. And I think for Forrest, even though, you know, like you mentioned, you do want to probe the defense a little more and maybe not take, you know, too quick of a shot. But I think some of these three-pointers are going to start falling for him just because you look at his body of work, not only overall over the past few years, but just, you know, the start of this season. Forrest has shot the ball well. And, you know, a lot of times he is that catalyst for them on offense. It takes a little bit of time to get used to shooting in certain facilities, not to make an excuse for him, but, you know, even some of the best shooters will tell you sometimes it takes some of those misses to kind of get in a rhythm. I look for Forrest, you know, he's the type of player, he's going to try to get all of his mulligans out early on so that he'll be ready to make them make a good run here at this event. I think he's going to shake this slow shooting start off. Phillip O'Berry fans wanted a foul there. Did look like a lot of contact by Muhammad Abdul Salem.
And Forrest is not letting Chandler out of his sight.
No. But picking up the pieces, getting the offensive rebound and the putback off the window. That's number 20, Tevin Heath. Aya gonna try a three-pointer. Ice cream.
He seems like he's trying to feel a little something there. Just made a pull-up jumper earlier last session. Now comes down for a three-pointer.
Nice work there by Aya.
Now Aya is one of those guys who can get going pretty fast.
We're gonna have a blocking foul called there. Hitting the deck hard there was the Phillip O'Berry player. Number 12. Don't see a number 12 here on my roster. It was listed as Jaden Woodard. I had to confirm that at halftime. Tough play there. Let's take a look at it, see if Greenforest was in a position to maybe have that call go the other way. Yeah, feet still moving. Good call by the official.
Exactly.
As you saw John Aguchi, think he wasn't that happy with the decision made by Abdul Salem there. You know, you were going to have a tough shot there for Woodard. He not only had a guy in hot pursuit right behind him, but then you had two Greenforest defenders there. Maybe you keep those arms straight up. He has to, you know, he has to take and make a very difficult shot, and you're in a great position to rebound. But you don't want to see your big man picking up unnecessary fouls here if you're Greenforest. You want to keep those.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, like we said before, you know, you don't want to get in foul trouble. Making your sides go down to Phillip O'Berry.
Yep. So I think some fouls, even though you have teams that don't have Greenforest, don't have the advantages when it comes to the size department against Greenforest, you're going to look at some teams be able to use that to their strength by making some of the larger players for Greenforest guard some of their quicker, more athletic wings and post players that might not be as big but can try to get some of the Greenforest players in foul trouble.
You're right.
Can't think of his first name. I think it was it Michael Turner there with Hammond School, the senior that had the big game there in that championship.
Michael Turner.
we weren't used to him having that sort of offensive output, but, you know, he saw an advantage to where they couldn't really stick with him on the perimeter with the size, and he made them pay.
Made them pay for it, yeah. Exactly right. Now, if looking at this game here, you know, I'm scouting for play against Greenforest tomorrow or later down the road. This is not the film I want to see.
Yeah.
Because you're not really seeing what you're really going to go against.
Yep, you're seeing. I think it's kind of bittersweet because you're not seeing Greenforest at full tilt, but you are seeing maybe some small things that you can take away. You know, as you plan your game plan, you know, to be able to go against them. I think a lot of what Phillip O'Berry has done, you know, different teams have different resources when it comes to scouting an opponent before an out-of-state tournament, but a lot of times you just kind of got the way you play ball and you've got general coaching knowledge, and you just got to mix those two together and make it happen. Sometimes you are able to get some film or be able to check things out. I think a lot of this with Phillip O'Berry is, you know, realizing some of the things they have to do with Greenforest size, but they're just a well-coached program that's going to do certain things, whether they're playing Greenforest or whether they're playing, you know, Bayside High.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Saved by the Bell reference.
Yes, sir. Bayside.
Good old Bayside, man. Beat Valley. We're dating ourselves there, man. These kids these days, they're not watching Saved by the Bell, man. They don't know anything about AC Slater.
AC.
17-17 is the score. Murray hasn't done much since his first 2 3-point attempts. Good heads-up play there by Forrest. He wanted to save it, but not at a point to where O'Berry could get it and score. Victor Eno, a jump ball going to be called. Eno a little bit frustrated, but you got to give Phillip O'Berry credit there because not only are they right there around Eno to where he had to work so hard to pull the shot through, then put way too much on it.
Exactly.
That's all attributed to that Phillip O'Berry intensity inside.
You know, to piggyback on what I said about the film study, it's kind of like, you know, let's talk about football, Alabama, Mississippi this year. That's probably film you didn't want to see on Alabama.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't the real Alabama team.
Blocked on one end by Jaden Woodard. Foul coming on the other end. Justin Forrest puts his hand up, trying to take responsibility for it. So Forrest going to be called for the foul. Still 17 apiece. And we went back and forth saying this, giving Phillip O'Berry credit for the game that they're playing right now. But I still keep looking up at the score, and it's 17-17. I mean, it's, you know, if I'm a Phillip O'Berry fan watching, I'm happy that it's a tie game. I expected a fight. You know, that's why you play the full 4 quarters. But I gotta feel like, man, we're playing better than them right now, but we can't see any tangible result from it yet.
Exactly. You know, if Greenforest goes in halftime with the lead, that is just a heartbreaker for Phillip O'Berry.
Yeah. Aya using the shot fake, arm straight up, defended well. Woodard goes behind the back, and that's the precious Aya that we're used to seeing. When you talk about the type of ground he covered, never gives up on a play. As we look at the ground that he's covering, he had just crossed half court, and that's enough for him to come up and tomahawk that one out of bounds.
Exactly.
He could be at the concession stand grabbing a nacho and a bottle of pop. And if you give him the proper heads up, he'll still get in there at enough time to contend with that shot that's being put up if you don't hurry.
Good lay by Forrest.
Pass ahead by Gucci.
I believe that's their first lead of the game.
19-17. And that's what you got to know. Forrest might miss his first few shots. Him and Gucci, they might get off to a slow start, but over the course of a game, they're going to get it together and make a run. The question will be, is your team ready to respond? I think Phillip O'Berry is ready to do just that. We're only 2 quarters in. But it makes me very excited for how the second half will turn out here in this battle. That last bucket was scored by number 33, Miles Washington, for Phillip O'Berry.
Forrest. And that's that 3 you said. You know,
Woodard can't get the three to go. Eno with another rebound. To Aguchi, over to Forrest. Wouldn't be surprised if he stops and pops another one. He'll do it. Money. And talking a little bit as well. Talking a little bit as well. Forrest ready to play. So we've got a timeout there by Phillip O'Berry. We're going to see Forrest call for the screen. Eno gives it to him. That's all I need, Chief. Shoot, Forrest. Shoot. It should have been a 4-point play there, but Greenforest will take the three. We'll be back after this timeout. Coming out of the timeout by Phillip O'Berry, it is a 19-24 ball game. Greenforest has trailed for the majority of this game, but here they are in a position to go in up at halftime. They're up by 5 points now with 1 minute 54 seconds left to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that Forrest guy, he's heating up over here for Greenforest.
He is, and we've seen him play in some battles. He's not a player that really talks a bunch outside of, directing traffic for his team. Doesn't talk a whole lot, and he's not doing a ton of talking out there, but he said a couple things after that, after those last two jumpers that he knocked down, all within, within the positive realm of the game, and I like it. Phillip O'Berry is saying we're not going anywhere. I like Forrest and Greenforest saying, okay, we got a slow start, but we're the Greenforest that you heard about.
Yeah, it's old Chandler Murray.
His third three-pointer of the first half. Going out of bounds, I'm going to say last touch by Phillip O'Berry, so it will stay with Greenforest. I think you're going to see a lot of minutes on the shoulders of Victor Eno and Precious Aya, more than they already play. You see Aya spinning, or Eno spinning inside and being fouled. But I think Abdul Salem for Greenforest, they're going to be able to use them, but just in spurts. When you look at the small ball that Phillip O'Berry is playing.
Yeah.
It's 24-22. Here's your score. Greenforest leading by 2. Been a good first half for Phillip O'Berry, but
3-point game here.
They could care less about it being deemed a good half if they let Greenforest take and keep control. Chandler Murray doesn't appear worried in the least bit.
Better get a hand in that guy's face.
Fourth three-pointer of the first half. So back-to-back games where we've had a guy start off with 4 three-pointers in the first half. It was Greg James of Shiloh in the last matchup. Forrest stuck between the rock and the hard place. Doesn't get up a good shot. Murray thought he was going to take a little heat check three right there. Instead, he'll wrap around. Traveling violation going to be called on the shot. Going to go against Will Miller of Phillip O'Berry.
Yeah, I thought Chandler Murray was going to go for a heat check there, man.
If he was either one of us, that shot would have been up there.
It was up. Might not have made the first pass.
Forrest with it up top over to Aya. Forrest to Aguchi. Back to Forrest for 3. Safe to say Forrest is feeling a little more comfortable here at Dorman Arena. we go in at half, Greenforest with a 3-point advantage. Thanks to Justin Forrest, catches that one. And he's got the depth perception down pat here in one of the best arenas in the Southeast. We'll be back after halftime.
Seconds inbound pass to Marbury as he works on the defense of Johnson, dribbles by Robinson, takes it to the baseline, running jump shot, good! 2 seconds left.
Never knew that I could feel this way. Now that I'm with you, I'm here to stay. 'Cause this is a brand new day. 'Cause this is
Classic as we are seconds away from getting the second half started. Want to take a look at some of the key stats there from the first half. You look on the Greenforest side and on the Phillip O'Berry side, both shooting at 35%, but Phillip O'Berry just 7 out of 20. Greenforest 11 out of 31. Greenforest getting more shot opportunities up from the free throw line. You know, about the same in terms of the number of trips, even though Greenforest is shooting it better. And Greenforest only out rebounding Phillip O'Berry by 5 rebounds there in that first half.
Yeah, I thought the rebound discrepancy would have been a little more than that, you know, with the size that Greenforest has. Forest comes out of halftime, same intensity that he left off on.
And Forrest is not trying to let Chandler Murray breathe. He's number 4 there in the white jerseys. Chandler Murray had 4 3-pointers there in the first half. 12 points total. In terms of getting points for Berry on the offensive end, he's a big reason why they led for the majority of the first half prior to Greenforest and the aforementioned Justin Forrest being able to close the gap and then establish an advantage. We're used to seeing a competitor in Justin Forrest, point guard with the ball now for Greenforest, but it's something about this game. I think it was the quick start by Berry. I think it was, you know, just his competitor fire period and the slow shooting start for him. It just has him a little bit more fired up.
Yeah, he's fired up. A good drive, good strong drive by O'Berry there.
It's number 20, Tevin Heath. And number 12 for Phillip O'Berry is Jail Scott. There was some discrepancy between the program and the roster. Number 12 for Phillip O'Berry is Jail Scott.
You know, if I'm Phillip O'Berry, I want to go back to doing the same thing I was doing in the first half, but you got to execute on more of your shots that you're taking. They didn't take as many shots as Greenforest last time, but you want to get some more shots up now.
Forrest right now being guarded by Miller. Nice defense by Miller, but Forrest, good defense, better offense. Forrest makes it a 6-point game. Miller trying to go right back. Nice defense without fouling there by Eno, who had 6 rebounds in the first half. Gets his 7th one there. Forrest feeling good, feeling great. That one's off the side of the rim, though.
Heat checker.
Chased down by Burton. Burton kicks it to the corner. There's Heath. He cannot get it to go. And Aguche will bring it across the timeline. John Aguche, 10 versus 10. He's got 10. Murray with 10 as well, and we've got a foul there. Murray kind of looks puzzled as to the call. I don't blame him. So far, the officials today have done a good job of letting him play. And knock on wood, we hope that continues.
Exactly right.
We hope that last call is just an anomaly as opposed to the norm. 26-32. Nice little step by Aguche, but good recovery by Murray. He kind of left Murray with the rocker step. Murray recovers.
And Aguche spin right back into him.
So that turnover gives it back to Phillip O'Berry. 6-point game. Muhammad Abdul Salem able to move those feet just enough to make that a tough shot for Heath. He misses. Now here's Aguche. Forrest feels like he has a mouse in the house, relatively speaking, with the smaller Miller guarding him. He's calling for it. Aguche didn't get it over to him. Now he'll set it up. 3.
Aguche knew better. Said he didn't want to give you a 2. You knew you could hit the 3.
As the ball's over there, instead of Forrest going to get that ball, he's going wherever Chandler Murray goes. He let the ball roll right past him. You know, we live in the world of memes. A bunch of memes out there, and Forrest is making me think of the one they did for Tony Allen after the defensive job he did on Klay Thompson in game 1 of that series with the Warriors and Grizzlies last playoff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Forrest is, man, he's if If he goes to the bathroom, he's going with him.
Yeah, Murray might have to call security at that Spartanburg Marriott, the tournament headquarters. Hey, this guy's trying to guard me and we're off, man. Both teams going for it. Muhammad Abdul Salem getting tied up there. With Burton. Official making sure we get that wet spot taken care of. Teamwork making the dream work. Get as many shoes in there as possible.
And a towel war, too.
Here on the safe side. Official gets the towel tossed in. If I'm on the court, I say, hey, Mr. Ref, hand me that towel, man. I'll get that spot taken care of for you, man.
And there you go.
And Muhammad Abdul Salem says, I'm right there. I'm ahead of you. Now, if you see me on these next couple plays, now, give me the benefit of the doubt there.
You got to look out.
Wet spot cleaned up. Phillip O'Berry trying to clean up this deficit. Chandler Murray, Greenforest, and Justin Forrest really focusing on making things as difficult as possible for Murray when it comes to him shooting the ball and being able to score for O'Berry.
Oh!
Greenforest called for the foul.
Pretty good defense there.
And you can see those coaches. Coach Larry Thompson and Coach Rory Griffin there from Greenforest. You can tell the Sharks are circling the boat.
Oh, yeah.
As they realize this is could be a pivotal point here in the game. Phillip O'Berry currently trailing by 9. Greenforest kind of sensing a little bit of vulnerability in terms of their ability to score. Chandler Murray has cooled off a little bit thanks to some good defense. Points coming, being harder to come by here for Phillip O'Berry in this third quarter. Currently trailing by 9. And Justin Forrest is seeing red, and we're not talking just the Phillip O'Berry jerseys. Misses that one. Aya says, I got you. Eno thought about it. Instead, it's Forrest getting the bounce.
Forrest is showing a lot this game right here, man. I watched them play last week in the Chick-fil-A. It was more of a Ogeechee showing this Chick-fil-A. It's showing you that they got two good guards over there.
Yes, Forrest stock rises with every week. Gucci called for the travel. And Justin Forrest, a member of the all-tournament team there at that Chick-fil-A Classic. He's going to have a seat. Get a well-deserved breather. Checking in is going to be number 1, Michael Evans. Now O'Berry turns it over. Oguche loses the handle. Hasn't been as sharp as he normally is with the ball handling here in this game.
Oh, he cleans it up.
Precious Aya comes out of nowhere and gets another one. We saw him hawk somebody down in the first half. Here we're going to see Oguchi get stripped, so let's look at where Aya starts off at. He's at the free throw line. They pass it ahead, but at that point, it's easy for him to get to. He closes gaps twice that size with no problem. At that point, he was just kind of taking it easy, going for a little jog. Yawned on the way to smack that one off the glass.
And get the steal here.
We're going to have a timeout. Believe it's going to be a full. Greenforest Christian and the Eagles trying to take flight. We will see how Phillip O'Berry responds after this timeout. timeout is over. Let's get back to the action. Greenforest off to a good start here in the second half. They've got an 11-point advantage. A much-needed timeout there for Phillip O'Berry. Victorino continuing to eat glass, fouled on the play by Heath, and he's going to go to the line. And this is, we talked about it early on, giving Phillip O'Berry their just due, their credit for how they started the game, but mentioning that caveat that it is tough to be able to sustain that against this Greenforest lineup for 4 full quarters.
You know, with them sustaining, man, they would have been able to stay in the game if they would get some shots going in. Right now, with Forrest being hot, you know, he's taking over on the backboard, you know. And Precious Aya, he came out second half strong.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard, you know, when you don't have the horses to go with them.
Greenforest game plan, it stays the same each game. You know, we're going to let Justin Forrest get us started, set the table for others, pick his spots to score. He and Aguche a great 1-2 punch, but in terms of our defensive intensity and making things tough, they just look to impose their will over the course of a game. So far, that is in transit. We'll see if Phillip O'Berry can stop the bleeding. Eno with another rebound. He's got Aguche and Forrest. Forrest, layup.
Like they said the game before, bang, bang.
And Forrest, you got to earn that layup designation. You know, the play-by-play guy can't call your three-pointer a layup just off of a couple made shots here or there. You got to be able to earn that.
Yes, sir.
As you see, Forrest just going to his spot, didn't overcomplicate it by, you know, making it congested by running to the lane with the Gucci. He just kind of spots up. Those guys know each other like the back of their hands.
And with Gucci, he was able to penetrate far enough down to bring the defense to him, kick it out to the corner three, give Forrest enough time to bang, bang.
As it is now a 16-point advantage.
And you know, you saying about sustaining Phillip O'Berry, we was giving them so much props about the way they came out playing in the first half. When they went in down, I knew it was going to be hard to roll the hole coming in the second half.
Yeah. That's when the adrenaline sort of wears off for a second and you say, wait, I saw how frustrated we had them early on.
We're still here.
And we're down 5? I like that take there by number 12, Jail Scott. Scott with a nice drive. Went up with the right, switched it to the left at the last second. Fouled on the play. In and out on the first free throw. Got to be able to have those free throws to have any chance of closing this gap. Got to make the freebies.
Got to make those.
Evans hesitates for a second, goes to the left and lays it in. Michael Evans.
Not off good times.
But if you had to pick a hooper off of good times, I would take Michael Evans.
Yep. Hey.
Layup drill. Evan hobbled a little bit. I think it might have came down a little bit funny. But he says, hey Evans, you know, I know you got a couple buckets. That's good stuff. But let me take you down here in this well for a second.
Exactly.
I got 2 for us. As he makes it 28-46 there against the smaller Evans. Nice defense there on that possession by Heath. Did a good job moving his feet. Looked like he might have taken a shoulder right to that sternum. Takes him a second to get up. Well, we take a look at the replay. You can see Forrest there trying to play with that screen. Heath, just a good job of moving his feet and standing his ground.
Corner 3 by Berry. Knocks it down. Tevin Heath. Knocked off.
So you see Heath with a good play. they're on the defensive end, coming right back, getting them a triple. It's a 15-point game.
Phillip Berry, you want to get to that striking distance.
Victorino. You know, you hear the phrase, that guy eats glass. You know, you hear it thrown around. But with Victorino, that's just an understatement.
Oh!
As Jill Scott goes up with bad intentions.
Yes, she did.
And this is what we liked about Phillip O'Berry. This is what had them in the lead for a good portion of that first half. Not being afraid to attack, saying, you know, Greenforest, you know what, you're good, you're fast, you're strong. We can be the same thing. We're going to take it right at you. Even though they're down now, you see Jill Scott right there elevating. These guys aren't thinking about tucking it in and just kind of letting Greenforest go away with it. They really believe they can close this gap.
One of the biggest things, though, they need to get Chandler Murray back. I think he needs to hit one to get the team back in rotation, get him back moving again.
Yeah. You know, Justice Forrest took that matchup personally.
Yeah.
You know, made it his personal assignment to make sure he cooled Murray down. So far, mission accomplished, but still plenty of game left. And then we see Forrest. I mean, now he's just reading the situation and doing whatever it calls for. You give me the three, I'll make that happen here. Nobody's over to help. I've already got the step and enough girth to be able to finish through the contact.
Forrest is making a believer out of me. I remember he shot a bad three-pointer earlier. I said something about it.
And
Haven't had anything bad about it.
And he said, I appreciate you.
Haven't said anything bad else about him. Kid, he can ball. He can ball.
Precious Aya. Call for the foul on the play. We mentioned free throws. They're going to be a key element here in this comeback because Greenforest does not plan on giving up anything free inside. And if they send you to the line and you can't knock both of those down,
that's a win.
That first one's off to the left. Michael Roberts at the line. Phillip O'Berry out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Greenforest out of Decatur, Georgia.
Battle of 85.
Greenforest trying to make sure they don't go back down 85 without a championship after finishing as the runner-up there in the American Division at the Chick-fil-A Classic. Gucci with the jump step, misses the first one, working hard for the second opportunity.
Working.
Earned that trip to the line. So John Aguche, the New Hampshire commit, not only does a good job on the court, but a very good student as well.
That's the biggest part. You know, Aguche had such a good showing last week in that Chick-fil-A Classic. Right tonight, well, today he has been pretty much the second wheel to that point guard, that guard duo of Forrest. But if both of them are working together, it's going to be a hard team to beat this tournament.
Many call them the most dominant team in the state of Georgia. And with their play, it is hard to argue that when you look at who they've played. Their one loss coming to the out-of-state school in Hammond School. As they finish the half, or not the half, but the third quarter on a scoring note. We go into the quarter break. Phillip O'Berry in a tough position as John Aguche and the Greenforest Eagles are rolling. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this break.
Never knew that I could feel this way. Now that I'm with you, I'm here to stay. 'Cause this is a brand new day. 'Cause this is a brand new day.
Seconds inbound pass to Marbury as he works on the defense of Johnson, dribbles by Robinson, takes it to the baseline, running jump shot, good! 2 seconds left.
Welcome back to the Farm Bureau Insurance Classic. We get ready to start the fourth quarter. It is a 53-32 advantage for Greenforest Christian. They shook the cobwebs off there in the first half and have not looked back since. Justin Forrest gets it into Aguchi. Aguchi wheeling, dealing, buckets.
The Gucci say this is my quarter now.
Time to roll.
Called winning time.
And that's the thing, a lot of people, you know, you look at the size for Greenforest, and so a lot of people from the outside looking in, they say, hey, for you to beat those guys, you gotta focus on those guards. And Forrest and Aguchi, even though you know, that's a very talented guard court there, you assume that they're the lesser of two evils versus all of that size when you look at Eno, Obiagu, Abdul Salem, Bebe Iola. But it's no cakewalk having to deal with Aguchi and Forrest at all. It sounds good to say, hey, we hone in on the guards and try to limit the big guys by attacking the guards. And you got to try to make that a part of your game plan, but it's much easier said than done.
Exactly right. Us talking about it.
You got a guard in Forrest that can initiate the attack on the offensive end. His ability to shoot the ball only gets better each year. Shoots it from a high percentage from three-point land, but also his ability to go initiate contact and absorb it on the inside makes a big difference. Nice passing by Phillip O'Berry.
Good finish at the rim.
That's Michael Roberts. Roberts with the finish. Call for the travel there. Didn't look like he traveled. He's definitely out of control,
Yeah,
but
he didn't travel.
it didn't look like he traveled, but the ball goes the other way. Three-pointer, too strong. Abdul Salem called for the foul. It's going to be fun to watch Muhammad Abdul Salem as he continues to develop. Still getting a feel for, how to stay on his feet and how to defend better without fouling. But with this Greenforest squad, with any big guy that came in raw, they always had a certain level of talent, but in terms of their basketball acumen, being able to be smarter, more mature with their game, whether it's footwork or defending without fouling, they all make that acceleration upward over the next few years. So it'll be fun to watch Muhammad Abdul Salem as he continues to evolve here with Greenforest.
And you can count that to good coaching, pretty much.
Yep.
When you see progression each year.
Another trip to the free throw line for Aguchi. He's been hard for them to stop here in this third quarter. We take a look at the replay from a few possessions ago. You see him this time. Feels like he has an advantage on the inside, so he spins and is able to finish him. You see a lot of games sometimes where, you know, 3/4 of the game can go by and the opposing team is just not realizing that Aguchi is left-handed. You know, very good with both hands. And, you know, we saw it at the Chick-fil-A Classic last week where late in one of those games, I believe in the second round game, they gave up, you know, they basically gave him his left hand on a late game drive. And, you know, it's just one of those things to where they had a quick mental lapse forgetting he was left-handed.
Exactly. He's been driving so much to the right, to the right. But he's strong to both hands, ambidextrous, so. And that sets you apart from a lot of different guards, you know. If you're a guard and you're a dominator on one side of the court, you know, a defender can make you a non-factor.
Yep.
If you only can control one side, right or left. If you're ambidextrous with it, what can the defender do? Play you straight up, try to move your feet, stay in front of them. That's all you can do.
Gotta have it. Listened to a Magic Johnson interview a while back, and he was talking about the overflow of players that he had come out for his varsity team one time back in high school, and coach said we're gonna go ahead and cut these numbers, early right off the bat. Line up and do an opposite hand layup. You miss the opposite hand layup, you're cut. And that cut the list down pretty quickly as we see Bebe Iola go up and get the slam.
No.
Aya, that's my first time seeing him block a shot without covering about 60 feet before he gets to it.
You're right.
I'm sure he'll take it that easily.
Piggybacking on what you're saying about being able to dribble with both hands, I'm an assistant coach down in the Columbia area, and my job is to find out who's the guards on the team, on the opposite team. I find out doing layup lines. If you can't make a layup with your left hand, you might not be able to dribble that well with your left hand.
Right.
If you can't make a layup with your right hand, you might not be able to dribble that well with your right hand. I find out those tendencies.
This can be very useful. When you look at the pressure defense applied by a lot of the good teams here in this tournament, especially a Greenforest. Is this well coached and hard playing Phillip O'Berry team coming up with the short end of the stick? We've got 5 minutes, 28 seconds left. Barring an extraordinary turn of events, Greenforest is in the driver's seat and should be able to remain there. Phillip O'Berry continues to fight. Nearly a turnover. Nice pass inside. Precious Aya gets caught up in the air and is called for the foul.
That first half, it's a tale of two halves here. That first quarter, second quarter, Phillip O'Berry was getting pretty much what they wanted, and forcing Greenforest into playing a different style game. They're forcing a lot of different turnovers, a lot of different missed layups. They're getting to the 50-50 ball, so that made that score look a lot better than what it is now.
Yeah.
And it just, when you have the horses to pull away like they're doing, that sets you apart.
Yep. As we mentioned, denied a Chick-fil-A Classic championship last week. Not trying to let another championship opportunity slip through. Iola. Mentioned Muhammad Abdul Salem and his continuing his development, his development being an ongoing process. Iola is a great after picture for right now, even though he's still got some room to go. He's a great before and after comparison in terms of the work that they've done with him in his game. Iola still calling for it, leaves that one short.
There's the Chandler Murray. Couldn't get it going in the second half.
Forrest calling for it. So is Iola.
They smell blood in the water.
So Gucci just reads the defense. They're looking for one of those options. They leave the lane wide open. Iola Fuller with the rebound, gets it to Forrest. He's just going to take it easy for a second, run a little bit of clock.
I think this Greenforest team, each player smells blood.
Yeah.
I think they want to get their buckets off now.
Officials are touching base. Some confusion as to whether or not that ball was deflected. But they say it was not touched by Phillip O'Berry. So it will go over to the Cardinals. Chandler Murray has been bottled up this second half.
Forrest, step in layup from the three-point line.
Justin Forrest.
Don't put the rebound on the other end from the miss from Chandler Murray.
Aguche. That's another thing about these Greenforest guards, man. They might not be 6'5", 6'4" plus in there, but if they feel like they have the size advantage against you on the inside, they don't mind using it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna take advantage of it.
Aguche at the line now. Gets the bounce. They're on the second. Precious Aya still not trying to get any points up. Gets called for the foul there.
That'd be his fifth foul.
I wonder how many rebounds Victorino can get. It's 2 minutes, 41 seconds remaining. He just had to check back in since Precious Aya fouled out. I'll say in the final 2 minutes and 41 seconds, he gets at least 5 rebounds.
You took my number. I'm going with you on 5. No, I'm gonna do like we do spades. I'm gonna do 6.
Okay, six books for Anton Bennett.
Yeah.
Aguche has it. Eno says, I don't know about those 5 rebounds. I've earned this 3, though.
Yeah.
I should be good for this 3. We saw him get the ball out there on the perimeter earlier in the first half and quickly get it over to Forrest. There he said, look, man, we're up 26. I've got about 15 boards. Coach, I'm good for this one.
Hey, and Precious Aya can't come sub in for me.
Right. Oh, I'm great. I'm gravy.
Yes, sir. I'm taking this one.
Appreciate you joining us here for the Farm Bureau Insurance Classic here on SUVtv. We look at some of the games that have taken place prior to this one. We opened up at 10 a.m. with Hillcrest out of South Carolina versus Sequoia out of Georgia. Hillcrest got the victory, 51-46. Wellington was able to defeat South Atlanta there in the 11:30 game. And in the 1 p.m. game, Shiloh made sure Georgia didn't go winless for the day by defeating Spring Valley. Study long, study wrong. They're on that one. Can't get that shot to go for us.
Johnny on the spot.
Right place, right time.
Right
Coast to
back at
coast. That take there by Jamarius Burton. Burton, just a sophomore. Forrest fouled there on the play. So that's going to send him to the line. Forrest still with this, being the general of the floor out there, has Iola and Aguche switch positions there so Iola can be back. Iola still looking to come up and pressure. Leaves Victorino in a bad spot. Can Eno recover? Does enough to delay him. Iola challenging inside, trying not to foul. Phillip O'Berry gets the bucket.
Exactly right. Victorino did enough just to recover. Got a man down in the middle of the court. Forrest, man, he's just taking it straight to him.
Forrest is going to work. We've got a player a little shaken up.
This game here kind of puts me in the mind frame of a Chick-fil-A game from last week. It was a close halftime game.
Yeah, it was. Talking about the Blythewood, the Bengals, I believe.
Yes,
correct?
sir, the Bengals.
The Bengals going up against Oak Hill, one of the top teams in the country. I believe it was a 6-point game at halftime.
Yeah, 6 point. Went in the locker room pretty confident.
Went in the locker room, walking pigeon-toed and everything.
Came out with a hat in the hand.
The reverse, no good for Chandler Murray. And it's just been a tough second half. No other way to describe it there for Murray. Eno. Nice hesitation. Tried to get it in there to Abdul Salem. Abdul Salem has it knocked against the board. Chandler Murray still fighting for it. Leaves Eno. Murray trying to go to work there, trying to get a little bit of get back. Make sure he goes down swinging. Can't get that shot to go, though. Here's Evans. Evans floats it up. Off the front of the rim, Iola with a power dribble and the reverse. Bebe Iola.
And still pressing. You know, some people say, why are they still pressing? This is what you signed up for.
Right, they're trying to get they're trying to get a championship here, man. We're not trying to let up. We're trying to take the same level of pressure into the next game.
What you signed up for.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm a big fan of just, hey, let the game play out. That's one of the reasons I used to like watching Spurrier's teams back when he was at Florida.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We're up 30, so what? Air that ball out.
Hey, it's your job to stop us.
Right.
Not our job to stop ourselves.
Exactly. Air it out.
Yes, sir. I love it. I love it. Keep pressing.
Here in the Carolinas, even though Carolina dropped a tough one to the Atlanta Falcons yesterday to end that undefeated streak, you know, still in a very good position. A lot of people don't like Cam Newton dabbing and doing what he does, even if you might not do it. At the end of the day, the only way to stop him from doing it is to keep him out of the end zone.
Keep him out of the end zone, exactly right.
And not many teams have been able to do that here. Not many teams have been able to beat Greenforest Christian Academy this season. Only one has up to this point. They keep it at 1 in the loss column as they get a victory here over Phillip O'Berry by a score of 49-77. Appreciate you joining us. Don't go anywhere. More FBI Classic action coming up after this quick break.